Good evening, everyone. So it's been a little while since I did a show, um, because I've actually been away for a few weeks on an extended family visit, and I had my travel laptop with me. I just didn't. I was kind of too busy over there to put a show together. But that's okay. I'm back home now. The regular shows will continue, and I was doing some behind the scenes stuff for my show yesterday in an attempt to make the show even better going forward. I was doing a lot of behind the scenes stuff. And as I was going through my hard drive, my past streams folder, I discovered that the date stamp on my first video download from Twitch was March 12th. So this past weekend, I actually celebrated my show's half anniversary. So because it's kind of a homecoming, return to the stream after being away for a while, and my half anniversary, I decided today we're going to do kind of a sampler show where I show off several of my different formats. So we're going to start with Bakugan Rolling Practice, which is a format that I enjoy doing, but I don't do it as much as my regular formats because there's more setup involved. So because I want to try and keep each segment of the show relatively short so I can showcase all my formats tonight, I decided tonight we're going to practice with my Aurelus Bakugan, because the gold ones, because that's the color I have the smallest number of. So we're going to see 16 Bakugan tonight. Let's get right into it. Alright, so as you can see, I have my board set up with my little Helix matrix. In a real game, of course, those will be set up a little differently. There's fists, flaming fists, shields, and magic shields as well. And but I like to use the helixes for practice just because they look the coolest. Also, you will never see 7 helixes in a game. It's a 2-player game, and each player, I think, puts out 6. So in a real game, there'll be 12 magnets on the table. But let's go ahead and get started with the rolling practice. I want to save this guy for a bit later. So let me just go into my stack. He's a good one to start with. We're actually going to roll out first the first Aurelus Bakugan I ever owned, which is my Howlcore Ultra, which I got probably within a week of starting my collection. But he wasn't one of my first 2 purchases I got. Maybe he was. I don't remember exactly. But here we go, Howlcore Ultra. And with Ultras, I sometimes give them up to 3 attempts when they land, because Ultras, Ultras, the way they open, they don't always land on their feet. And I like best when they make the jump successfully. Like that. You see he kind of flipped over. So we're going to roll him again. Now, cores, the magnet is always in the bottom. The non-ultras, I mean, the magnet's always in the bottom. So where when I roll those, they will always pretty much stay on the core, unless they have too much momentum and topple over. But with the ultras, they don't. With them, they jump, so they can land. Anyway, let's try that again. Okay, he jumped, and alright, let's give him one more try. And I'm not going to worry about manual parts tonight, like Howlcore's front paws. We're trying to get through this as quickly as possible. So unless there's a Bakugan I really, really want to see make the jump, we're going to limit the Ultras to 3 tries. Oh, he straight upside down. At least he didn't land sideways that time. I'll consider that a successful flip. Or not successful, but at least he landed in a vertical axis, shall we say. Alright. Halcor Ultra. Alright. Next Bakugan I'm going to roll is a... Okay. Another Ultra. This time we're going to roll Ultra Phaedrus. And Phaedrus is interesting because the Ultra looks nothing like the character design or the non-Ultra. The Ultra version has wings, which as you can see are nowhere in evidence on the card picture. And the regular Phaedrus and the version in the show do not have wings. It still looks pretty cool. Ultra Phaedrus kind of looks like a dragonfly. And that one did land upright. So we're going to go ahead and reset the cores here. And we don't need to do a reroll on Ultra Phaedrus. Alright, there's Ultra Phaedrus. I like the look. Kind of looks a bit like a dragonfly. I do like the core version a little better, just because it's much more show accurate without the wings. Alright, we're gonna roll. Okay, which one is this? I may be wrong about this one, but I think I'm holding my Mantinoid right now. This is a core, so it should land upright. Yep, landed the right way. So yeah, we can. The cores we're gonna move through pretty quickly. So there's little Mantinoid. Maybe. Alright. Next Bakugan is going to be, I'm pretty sure this is Fangzor I'm holding. Let's see. And I like the way Fangzor opens. Fangzor is a lot like Core Phaedrus. I do not have Core Phaedrus in this color, though. There we go. And Fangzor, as you can see, is a cobra snake. There it is. For the longest time, I didn't have a Fangzor, and I was sad. Now I got Fangzor in 2 colors. Alright. Now we're going to see another version of Halcor. This time the basic version. And honestly, as much as I like the Halcor character, I'm not really a fan of the Halcor base sculpt, because the proportions just are a bit wonky and it looks weird in my opinion. He still looks pretty cool, just not as cool as some of the others. Controversial opinion, I also think Nilius Core from Season 1 also looks a little dorky, but that's okay. I don't have any Nilius in today's opening. There we go. I do have one Season 1 Halcor Ultra, but not in this color, so that you won't be seeing that one tonight. Here's Halcor. Here's the base version of Halcor. You can see the heads, the way they come out like little arms. It just doesn't look like a dog, in my opinion. Alright. Yeah, now we can do this one. We're going to roll out, I'm going to do Batrix now. Batrix is a Season 2 Bakugan Ultra, meaning the Aurelus version has the shiny metallic gold paint. Starting in Season 2, they put shiny metallic paint on the Bakugan. So, this is an Ultra, so I may have to do multiple attempts, depending on how it goes. Yeah, that was totally unimpressive, so let's redo that. Alright, got them closed for another attempt. And the big thing in Bakugan is, over the next couple months, I'm going to be trying to work on getting the last 7 Pegatrixes that I don't have yet. There's 20 different versions of Pegatrix. I have 13 of them. Pegatrix is my favorite character. It didn't keep the core, it dropped the core, so we're not counting that one. And with Pegatrix being my favorite character, I want to have all the versions. Now, I haven't started collecting fusions yet, so I'm not counting the Pegatrix fusions, but I want to have all 20 of the regular Pegatrix. It was available, the Season 1 core was available in all 6 colors. I have 3 right now. The Season 1 Ultra was available in 2 colors. I have both of them. The Season 2 core was available in, and the Ultra were available in all 6. I have 4 of the cores and 4 of the Ultras from Season 2. So I'm still missing 7. Oh, I know that was the 3rd roll, but he didn't keep the core, so Batrix was actually my 2nd Aurelus Bakugan that I ever got. I got him the day after I got Howl Core. The same day that I got the playmat. The Walmart exclusive playmat kit. And I think I got a starter that night as well. No, it was a gear pack. I got, I think the... No, it may have been a starter. I think. I don't remember. I bought so many Bakugan products at this point. I have 130 total characters. So I don't remember the exact order I got everything anymore. He almost landed, but he kept the core. So we're going to consider him done. There's Batrix. Alright, who's next? Okay. Okay, I think this is one of my newer ones. So I'm not 100% sure. Let's take a look. I think I'm holding a Centipod right now. And I have Centipod in 2 colors, but overall Centipod I think is my most recently acquired new character. So in terms of new to my collection, Centipod isn't that new of a character. It was Season 2. We're well into Season 3. There we go. And yeah, I was right about it being Centipod. Opens a bit like Fangzor and Phaedrus. long body, those, you know, rolls up into a ball. There's my Centipod. And I also have the white Centipod as well. Alright. We don't have to spend too much time on that one. Let's move on to... actually, the one I just picked up, I want to be the final one I roll. Alright, yeah. Let's do Season 2 Dragonite Core. I have 2 Dragonoids that in Aurelus I will be seeing tonight. Dragonoid is the most released character with 7 different sculpts. I have at least 1 in each color. I have 4 in the native color Pyrus. And I said I wasn't doing manual parts, but with Dragonoid, you have to do his horn. So, the horn, Dragonoid's horn is iconic, so you have to do it. There's Core, Season 2 Core Dragonoid. Season 1 Core, what I call Fat Drago, because it basically is a head that pops out of the ball. Everything pops out of the ball. It doesn't really... It looks fat, so I call it Fat Drago. I only have that one in Pyrus so far. Alright, we'll do another Season 1 Ultra. Now, this one is going to be Maxitor. And the thing with Maxitor is his feet are the manual parts, so he actually can't land on his feet. But when you land him upright, Maxitor is a Minotaur character, and when you land him upright, he looks like a charging bull. So it can still look good if you land it just right. And he popped open before even hitting the cores, so we're not counting that. Let me reset him. Alright, let's try that again. And this time, let's hit the magnets before we pop open. And he's having a problem staying closed tonight, which may be why that happened. In general, my Maxitor has been loose lately. He's still one of my favorites in the Aurelus group. I don't have him in any other colors yet, though. But I will soon, hopefully. Well, he landed on his head, but he double cored, and as much trouble as I've had with him lately, and considering the Crocelius incident last time I practiced Bakugan, I don't want to keep him out longer than necessary. And it looks like I'm dropping frames a little bit. So here, I'll flip his feet out so you can see what he looks like proper. There's Maxitor. He's one of my favorite designs from Season 1. In Season 1, a lot of the Bakugan didn't really hide the ball well. But Maxitor, he did. Okay, that'll be the second to last one. This one is a... We'll stay in Ultra. We're actually going to roll out Cindius Ultra now. He's basically a knight. Alright. And the thing with Cindius is he wasn't actually released in Aurelus back in Season 1. But at the very beginning of Season 3, Cindius Ultra was released in 2 colors it didn't get released in before, which was kind of an interesting case, because they haven't done that with any of the other characters. So let's roll them out. And the way Cindius opens is cool. He grabs the core on his shield, and the sword pops out. It's kind of a really cool if we can land it properly. And I have this mold in Aquos also, and the blue one. And the blue one is loose. The head keeps popping out, and I can't get it to stay closed. This gold one is really tight. The gold one closes properly. I don't know what the difference is. I guess maybe better materials in the manufacturing process, since they've had 2 years to do it. He didn't land upright, so we're going to do that again. But he did double core on his shield, so we're going to do Cindius one more time. Alright. Once more. Cindius. Let's roll. Well, he tried. But it's cool when it works. That's kind of what it looks like. With the sword shield effect going on. Speaking of sword and shield, I'm hoping we have time at the end of stream to do a little bit of the Pokemon format. That's the optional 5th format I chose for tonight for there's Cindius. If I get through all the main formats. Because the Pokemon format is newer. But it's also one of my favorites. Because it's... Alright. Now we're going to go back to... We're going to do Zentor Core. And like Cindius, Zentor has a little sword. But Zentor's sword is a manual part. You know what? I'll go ahead and do the sword like I did Dragonite's horn. Because the sword is iconic to this character. Wow. And I have Zentor in 3 different colors now. There we go. Like I said, cores, they pretty much land upright all the time unless you have too much momentum and they flip over. But a core is almost guaranteed to land on its feet. Almost. And there's his little sword. And there's Zentor. Showing off the figure after the roll is one of the things I like to do on this. Alright. We have 5 left. And this one's going to be another core Trino. Basically a little dinosaur Bakugan. And I have Trox, and Trox is the main dinosaur Bakugan. And I have him in every color except Aurelus. The only dinosaur I have in Aurelus is Trino. And I have Trino in 2 colors, but I don't have any of the Ultra yet. And for Trino, I said I wasn't doing manual parts, but for Trino, I got to do the horns. He double cored. Look, he double cored. In my experience, Ultras are more likely to double core than basics, but sometimes, which I find weird because the basics are designed to land on their feet. So I guess it all depends on magnet placement and how it lands. There's Trino. It's a lot like the core Turtonium mold, except Turtonium doesn't have horns. I don't have any Turtoniums tonight, but I have 1 Ultra and 2 cores. On this version of Trino, the head is tiny. I don't have any of the Ultra for Trino yet. Alright. And now we're going to do Scorpiros. And Scorpios is actually the first of 2 Scorpion Bakugan they've done now. Pinsir being introduced in Season 3. I have Pinsir Core, not in 2 colors, but I don't have the Ultra yet. I think green and white for my Pinsir. Scorpios, I don't have any of the Ultra yet, and I only have this one in Basic. There's a lot of Bakugan from Season 1 I only have 1 color of. And there's Scorpios. And I will say I like the Scorpios core mold more than the Pinsir core in terms of looking like a scorpion. The Pinsir core, the claws really look weird and not really scorpion-like. There. There. Alright, my next Bakugan is a Core Vicerox. And in all honesty, I'm surprised it stayed closed this long, because I have Core Vicerox in 3 colors, and all 3 of them are loose and trigger happy in ball form, and all of them frequently open up in storage. So I'm surprised he decided to stay closed. As you can see, he grabbed the core but toppled over. We're going to give him another roll. Sometimes basics will topple over if they have too much momentum. And as trigger happy as Vicerox is, it doesn't really take a lot of speed to open over the magnet to open them up. Interesting landing there. He flipped over again. We're just going to leave it at this point. Alright. There's Vicerox. And I've saved my 2 favorite Aurelus. Bakugan for last. So we're going to roll out Pegatrix first, Core Pegatrix. This is the only Pegatrix I have in Aurelus, but Pegatrix being my favorite character, saving the 2 best for last, like I said. And I have 13 Pegatrix so far. I'm missing 7, and I'm trying to hopefully complete my Pegatrix collection by the end of the year. But Ventus Ultra Season 2 Pegatrix seems to not be available at eBay or Amazon, and even the trade group I'm on Facebook has no leads on getting Ventus Ultra, so that one might be a challenge. And that's the 3-pack that also comes with Core Darkest Dragonoid Season 2 and Chaos Samoga. And Samoga's a character that I really want more of, so I really want to get my hands on that pack. I like Samoga. Samoga, so far, I only have in Darkest. So, there's Pegatrix Season 2 Core. And you can see with the Season 2, there's more of the shiny metallic paint. They even did that on the cores for Season 2. Aurelus was the only color to get a significant change to the color scheme between Season 1 and Season 2. With the addition of the metallic gold paint, which they didn't have on the Season 1 Bakugan. But they carried over the metallic gold paint to Season 3 Bakugan. Speaking of which, my final Bakugan for tonight is Dragonite Ultra. This is the Season 3 version. Right now, this is the only Season 3 Bakugan that I have in Aurelus. So, I definitely need to get more. But this is the only gold Season 3 Bakugan I have. I have a few others in different colors. Here we go for the final character. This is also my second Aurelus Dragonoid. I have 4 red, I think it's 1 black, 2 gold, 2 green, and then 1 each in blue and white. It didn't hold the core, so we have to do him again. And what's cool with the Season 3 Dragonite sculpts is the horns aren't manual. On both of them, they extend automatically when it opens. He tried. He tried to land on his feet. I'll consider that good enough. So there we go. There's Dragonite Ultra, Season 3 version. I really like the Season 3 sculpt. Even though his legs look disproportionately small, so he kind of looks a bit like a chibi from the waist down. His arms are nice and buff and muscular. I don't know how well that's coming up on camera. And from the waist up, he looks well proportioned. And the wings have an interesting shape as well. You can see that gold paint all over the wings, a little bit on the tail. Nice little silver horn. I really like Dragonite Ultra from Season 3. Anyway, that was my final Aurelus Bakugan. So I'm going to take a few minutes and clear my Bakugan space. Alright, so the next thing I'm going to do on the stream is I'm going to do the art section of my show. Where did I put my cores? I'm going to do the art section of my show. And I've picked out 3 characters for today. So today we're going to be doing my first ever Marvel sketch. And we're also going to be doing my, hold on, just gotta fold up this board. We're going to be doing my first ever Marvel sketch. We're going to be doing a Disney villain. And then a return to my roots with a My Little Pony character. So I've got an interesting assortment of characters for tonight. Just 3 sketches though. On a normal art stream, I do 6 to 7 characters. And one time I even did 9. But because this is a sampler show, we're just doing 3 characters tonight. Because I have other formats to show off after that. The stream will be going on for a little while tonight. So I need that space over there. So we're switching over to art now. Alright, let's bring up my paper. Hold on a second, I'm almost ready to switch over. Alright, let's get the sketch cam. I have to adjust the camera a little bit for this, I think. There, that should be... Let's move it to where I'm naturally sitting. I want to have it a little closer to me. Okay, I guess that's as good as it's going to be for tonight. Let's pull up my first character. We're going to draw a Marvel character tonight. Let's see, can I get him? Pulling up my reference image. I already have the reference images pulled up. It's just a matter of switching over to it in the browser. Alright. I'm probably going to cut off his feet. That's a running joke on my Arch streams, is cutting off the feet. Yeah, let me start over. I'm only one line in, so I can justify starting over. I didn't draw that top of the head big enough. Let's see. Should be about the middle third. That's a little better. And from that proportion, yeah, feet are probably going to get cut off, but that's okay. So I may have drawn those. All right. And then he's got some wrinklage going on up here. This is, of course, going to be Thanos when I finish him. I think movie version Thanos, I'm not 100% sure from the source. I think it was funny, that scene in Endgame where they go to kill him, and he's just casually making breakfast, and then Thor comes in and cuts his head off. I like how the Marvel movies, they mix humor in with all the drama, but it's intense and dramatic when it needs to be, but they put in a fair amount of humor as well. I think MCU does the comic relief elements a little bit better than Star Wars does. I don't think I drew his chin lines properly. Whatever, let's move on. So yeah, Thanos. And my Disney selection for tonight is also a villain, but the My Little Pony character for tonight. Man, I've broken the villain theme with the My Little Pony character. That's okay. I like to do cute characters on my stream as well, so... I was going to do another Disney Princess image tonight, but I do those most streams. So I figured it would be okay to focus on other characters for tonight, since I'm only doing 3 sketches. Oh, I drew that line too long. That's alright. Here's a little neck area in here. Draw his little neck muscle lines that he's got. That's kind of a weird neck. That's alright. Keep rolling. Remember, I haven't streamed in 3 weeks, and even before then, it was a couple weeks since I had done an art stream, so I'm a little bit out of practice right now, but not nearly as out of practice as I was back in April when I did my first art stream. I messed up a little bit on that line, but I think it's salvageable. So right now, this is the Infinity Gauntlet that Thanos uses to control the Infinity Stones. Time, space, mind, soul. I forget the other two. I drew that stone too small. Yeah, this is a weird looking Infinity Gauntlet. But like I said, I'm a bit out of practice right now. I knew Thanos would be an ambitious choice for tonight, so... Yeah, Thanos was an interesting character in the MCU. I don't do comic books, but I did see all the MCU movies. Well, most of them. I saw them all up through Endgame. Alright, let's draw the back side of this side of his body now. And then from here, it's just a matter of drawing in the rest of his arm shape on this side. And then he's got a little bit of muscle lining going on. And then the bottom of his coat down here. It probably needs, yeah, that needs to come out a little more. Oh, nice little... I don't think there's supposed to be an extra fabric line there, because I think this is armor, not fabric right here, but whatever, a straight line happens to the best artists sometimes. So about here, he's got a little bit of a belt going on. And then that line is supposed to be straight, but my pen, I think my pen hit something, a rough spot on the table, so whatever. I may have picked a too complicated character for tonight, just on account of the fact that, as I've said before, humanoid characters take longer because you have to draw in all their outfits. My last two characters are animals, though, so we should be on to the next format before too long. Let me draw his back arm. His back arm is kind of beefy. Wow, that's a dorky looking hand. There's a muscle line in there. And some more fingers. Yeah, the hand's not too terrible. Could be better, though. Alright, let's draw in the rest of the detailing for his armor, and then we'll move on to his pants. And yes, the proportions are off. But proportions are usually a little bit off when I do humanoids. It comes with the territory of the level of my experience. Alright, there's the end of it. So the pants line is already in on account of where I drew the coat. We'll at least get the top part of the boots if we don't get the whole things. And now we just gotta draw in the pants detail lines. Alright, pants are in. Let's just draw. Well, his feet are going to be cut off, but at least we'll get the top parts of his boots. Thanos is definitely not even close to the best I've ever done. But he's a good return to form after being away from drawing for so long. I think the last time I did an art stream was all the way back in July. Because I lost the second half of August and the first half of September when I was trying, and before I left I was trying out new formats, so I know, excuses, they're never a good thing, but in the beginning of August I was trying out a bunch of new formats, so some of the main formats kind of didn't get done as much as usual. Even Morrowind took a hit to the amount of playtime I did, so... You know, that's the weirdest looking Thanos I've ever seen. He could be better, but I'm going to call Thanos there so I can move on to the second picture. Alright, so the second picture we're going to draw is a Disney villain this time. Well, Thanos, I guess, is a Disney villain, but I mean a Disney animated villain. Oh man, where to begin with this guy? And he is an animal character. And this is... I'm actually going to be doing a dedicated stream at some point, probably in October, for this movie. So you'll see me draw this character again in a different pose, because I don't like to do the same pose twice on the show. Alright, I guess there's where I need to draw the line. He should be recognizable soon. That line comes up, and it's actually supposed to meet up with that line. So yeah. I've actually done other characters from this movie on the stream before. So again, I guess I'll need to come up with new poses for everybody. I chose this one for tonight because this is one of my favorite Disney animated movies all time. Alright. Now let's draw in. So. I had reservations about choosing this particular source image because of how difficult the pose looked. But we'll see how it comes out. And even though I'm actually running a bit longer than I thought with the art, given the pictures are more complicated than I thought when choosing them, that's okay. I'm still going to go through with the third that I planned. Because after 2 villains, you want to see someone cute. And it's a character that I've done many times before, so the last picture at least should look good, even if the rest of these don't. Okay. I hope I drew that part wide enough. It'll be a little bit more recognizable in a minute, I think. Some of you probably figured him out already. But yeah. This is one of my favorite Disney villains of all time. Just because he's so much more effective than so many of the other villains. He's scary at what he does. Yeah, I mean, if I was coloring hair, then he'd be instantly recognizable, but I think, considering that I'm not taking the time to color hair, I think he's off to a better start than I was hoping for, actually. But man, these hairlines are ridiculous. Let's draw in the rest of his face detail. And then he's got like all big cats, he's got big whiskers coming off his face. Okay, I did mess up a little bit of the line, so I'm going to have to adjust the hairline. Let's draw in this front paw first, though, because that'll help me place the hairline. That claw should have been drawn a little bit bigger. Lions are such majestic creatures. Except this guy, he's just vicious and evil. Alright, that paw totally looks off. But then again, it's kind of off in the source image as well, so. From here, I can adapt the hairline. And put in his ear. And the ear on the other side is approximately right here. And now I can draw in the rest of, I'm calling it hairlines. On lions, they're called manes. And they're also called manes on the other animal that I'm going to draw tonight. But whether you're drawing hair or a mane, I call them hairlines because it's pretty much the same thing. There's that rough spot again. That plagued me on Thanos. But I can't feel anything now. Oh well. I'm going to switch. Remind me to switch pens when I go into my last picture for tonight. And actually, given how well I think this one's coming out, I kind of want to do a fourth picture, but I know I can't because of all the other stuff I prepped for tonight, so we're just going to do the 3 pictures for tonight. That line could have come out a little bit better, but whatever. Yeah. So yeah, of my 9 regular formats, one of which I haven't really done much on the channel yet, but of my 9 regular formats, 4 of them are definitely on the plan for tonight, and one of them is if I feel like going longer after I show off the main 4. Muscle lines. This guy's got muscle lines galore. And before I draw in the rest of the body, I gotta draw in where his front paw comes down. Like that. So yeah, body proportions are definitely off on this guy. And he's got a little bit of the mane hanging down under his leg. I had to improvise there because I drew the line wrong. Everything on this guy is angular and sharp. And now with that in place, I can draw in the rest of the underside, the back, and then the back front paw. That didn't sound right. And this guy's got a lot of sharp claws, which he uses to, well, let's say 2094. It's a 27-year-old movie. I don't think there's any. I don't think there's a necessity to spoiler tag this movie at anymore. Because I mean, everybody who's a Disney fan has seen this movie by now. Alright. Now he looks a little fat, but that's okay. And now for the tail, which in this reference image seems to be coming off at kind of an awkward position. And I'm taking liberties with the tail a little bit, just so I can get it on the paper. Because if I did the tail exactly as in, posed exactly as in the source, it would come off the paper. Alright, there we are. Scar, kind of fat, but definitely not the worst I've done on this channel. I kind of like the way it came out tonight. Let's move on to someone who's not a villain. Let's move on to Princess Twilight Sparkle from My Little Pony. Remember what I said about animals are easier because people wear clothes? Well, this particular reference image, she's got a dress on. So I'm not sure how much easier she's actually going to be than people's. And I think I just started in the wrong place. But that's okay. That's okay. I think I've drawn enough that I can draw in the rest of this front part of the mane. And of course the hairlines. It just to me sounds awkward to say mane lines, you know? Because mane sounds like the other spelling of mane. And hairlines really aren't mane lines in that sense. So even on manes, I'm going to keep calling them hairlines. And really, what's the distinction between a hair and a mane? It just depends on what kind of creature you're drawing, as far as I can tell. So I could say her hair, and I'd be technically accurate. Because if I was drawing a person, this part I'm drawing right now would be considered the hairstyle. Alright. And now for the eyes. Why am I drawing the eyes before I... Oh, well, the front eye at least should be drawn in, because it will help me gauge the rest of the face. And there's one weird moment during every picture, particularly on the pony pictures, where they look really weird and creepy when you draw in the general shape of the eye, but before you add the details. So I try not to stay on that phase very long. And I do color the eyes, just because they look creepy and wrong if you don't. But the eyes are the only part I take the time to color. If the eyes are any color but black, then I don't color them. Okay, that eye looks pretty good. Still looks creepy until I draw in the other eye, though. So, draw in the other side of the face. Come down and around like that for a little bit of a nose line. Which, when they just have one eye, it's still in a bit of a creepy phase, so we can draw on the rest of the face after she gets her other eye. Alright. Okay. Not too terrible on the eyes. Let's draw on the last few lines of the face and we can move on to her body. That could have gone smoother, but I hit a bump. Alright. Neck. There's some kind of emblem there, because she's wearing a dress. So I need to start putting this dress together. I used to have a few of the Build-A-Bear ponies. They're all in storage right now, though. And there's actually more of the mane that comes around the front. But that we'll have to add in a little bit later. After I draw in all these dress details. Okay. Enough of the front is drawn that I can draw in the rest of the mane now. Manes are always so nice and detailed with multiple layers. Yeah, alright. That looks nice. Now, there's a little bow on this ribbon thing going here. Give me a moment, I just got a notification. Give me a moment to respond to this notification real quick. Alright, sorry about this. Alright, back to art. Sorry about that. That was concerning my job search, so I had to see what that was about. It's something I can respond to in the morning. Extra fabric line because I messed up the placement. This dress sure has a lot of fabric lines on it. And that fabric line doesn't go in the same orientation as the others. So a wrinkle, maybe? But I hear you saying right now, she can't have a wrinkle. She is a princess. Yeah. I guess even the most perfect people have wrinkled outfits sometimes. And with that part in place, I can then draw in the legs. And the dress actually covers her tail, so no ponytails tonight. I mean, tails of ponies. She doesn't really have a ponytail in this hairstyle. There I go, trying to make sense of the dumbness of language again. art happens, regardless of what words you use to describe it. And her little princess shoes. And because the dress covers her cutie mark, they actually put a variant of her cutie mark on the shoes. I approve. The magic star for Twilight. I actually had a set of the Build-A-Bear versions of the princesses. I said that earlier. Yeah, they're in storage. They've been in storage for a couple years now, unfortunately. Friendship is Magic happened, and then the pandemic. So, alright. I have to draw on part of the back detail of this dress. With those in place, I can draw the back legs. I mean, if this picture was just her princess shoes, that would be so easy to draw, but unfortunately, that's not the case. Okay, legs are in place. There's a little bit of more of a fabric line going on right here. Man, her princess dress is really long, almost like the back end of a traditional wedding dress. But this isn't her wedding dress. She never gets married in the show or anything. Man, the main six don't really do boyfriends in the show, do they? Alright. Not bad for the dress. Now we just gotta do her wing. Or I should say wings. This is easily the best of the three pictures I've done tonight. Alright. So, quick recap. You see here Princess Twilight Sparkle. And we also did tonight Scar from Lion King and Thanos from Marvel. Alright. And with that, we're going to take a quick bio break. And when I come back, we'll be doing a little bit of a music show. For the music sampler portion of my variety show tonight, I've decided to do kind of a mini kazoozical, except it's not really a kazoozical, it's more like a musical review, where I've picked out 6 Andrew Lloyd Webber songs that I'm going to play for you on solo a cappella kazoo. So that will be when I come back from the bio break. So we're going to take a quick break, and I'll see you in a couple minutes. Okay, I think we're ready to start the Andrew Lloyd Webber mini review. So let's go ahead and get it started. And I've picked one song each from 6 different Andrew Lloyd Webber musicals. And so let's go ahead and get right into it. And I hope I picked a good order. I tried to curate the order, but I'm not sure how well I did. So here we go. The first song is from Jesus Christ Superstar. So there it was. 6 songs from Andrew Lloyd Webber musicals. I hope you enjoyed my little musical review on kazoo. When it comes to the music shows, I have 2 formats that I'll be doing with the kazoo. The first is the kazoosical, which is where I play an entire musical, all the songs on my kazoo, start to finish. I've done 3 of those in the past. Joseph was the first one I did. I've also done Hairspray and Lion King. You can look for them on my previous episodes playlists on YouTube. I plan to do more kazoozicals in the future. I'm also setting up a song request bot like other music streamers use, so there will be song request shows on kazoo, and I've already got about 30 different Beatles songs on my kazoo request list. Anyway, in addition to that, I also have on rare occasions streamed me practicing piano, me learning piano. I plan to stream a couple episodes of me learning guitar, but those are going to be rare. Most of my music is going to be the kazoo show in either of its 2 formats. So moving on, we're now going to switch over into some gaming, where the computer game I feature most on my channel is Morrowind, my favorite computer game of all time. So I don't play Morrowind straight on the channel. I often show off various mods that I like, or get into shenanigans and break the game in weird and unusual ways. For tonight, let's go ahead and get it loaded up here. I think I have all my settings intact. For tonight, I think we're going to go over to the Skyrim Province Mod. Alright, my computer's doing something funky. Hold on. Alright, that was not supposed to happen. Alright, give me a minute to fix things. So tonight we're going to go over into the Skyrim Province Mod, and I think we're going to try and explore the city of Dragonstar. We're not going to do too much detailed exploration, like we're not going to do quests or anything like that, but apparently it's one of the biggest cities ever built in one of the province mods. So apparently Dragonstar is so big, it has 2 subdivisions. So, but first let me fix things. Alright. That's doing what it's supposed to now. Good. So, alright. I think, let me try and fix ratios here. So yeah, somewhere along the line, my resolutions got knocked off a little bit. So let me try and fix my Morrowind window. That looks like it's the correct resolution now. Alright. So same deal as always, we'll get the cheat ring, and then we'll go over to Skyrim. Now the Skyrim Province Mod has not yet... The Skyrim and Cyrodiil Province mods do not do landmass preview like Tamriel Rebuilt does. So, yeah, we'll skip the tutorial. We're already 2 hours into our stream, and I still want to sample another format even after this one. So, same deal as always, we'll name the character Eevee. We're going to Skyrim, so let's make a Nord. Let's make a Nord teenager, actually. Will be a boy this time. Alright. Nord. Barbarian. Okay. Barbarian, teen barbarian, warrior. There we go. All the Skyrim Nord stereotypes.
Your papers, please.
Alright, let's go get our utilities and get over to Skyrim. So, I managed to get Morrowind to run in 3D, but it won't actually... My video capture software won't actually pick up the 3D. So eventually, there's going to be once I figure out how to get that fixed, there may or may not be 3D glasses streams in the future. So let me get my cheat utilities. I will tell you, I wish I could do a video capture of the 3D because it looks really cool in Morrowind. Morrowind does it really well. So that's one thing I'll try and work on. We get the utilities and take everything else. And we'll skip getting the armor, because I kind of want to see what Dragonstar armors have to offer. So we need to go down to Evenheart to pick up the boat to Skyrim. But first, let's see if Aurel has any Nordic stuff. We're going full out Nord.
Can we hurry this along?
He has Nordic fur, but not a full set. Any Nordic stuff in the weapons? I kind of want to... Of course, this is all for appearances only. since I don't actually do combat, but
Speak, traveler.
let's do... Alright, so he's beginning to look Nordic. Let's go to the Armorer in Balmora real quick and see if he has any Nordic stuff. And then from Balmora, we'll go to Evenheart.
Yes.
Guard, you're standing in my way. Alright, there we go. So Balmora, then Evenheart. And from Evenheart, we take the boat to Skyrim, which will drop us in Karthwastern, if I remember correctly. And from there, we have to take roads I don't know to Dragonstar. I think I did this on stream once before, like my first or second stream, and we never actually made it to Dragonstar because the path ended up in a gap in the world since they haven't finished the terrain yet in that area. But I know Dragonstar exists because I saw it in the construction editor, and I did a flyover of Skyrim off stream one time. I don't remember exactly where the armor is around here. He's an outfitter. He might have Nordic stuff.
Go ahead, stranger.
No, he's just regular clothes. Okay. That's alright. We'll probably see more Nordic stuff when we actually get over to Skyrim. But I know there's an armorer somewhere here. There he is. I've spent so much time in Tamriel Rebuilt that sometimes I forget the layouts of the original cities. That's Nordic Helm. We can take that.
Sorry, stranger. My time is short, so get on with it.
And we're going with the Nordic theme today. I got half a mind to go up to Solstheim, but I don't really have time for that. Nag is an interesting looking kid. I mean, the weapon no longer fits the theme, but we're off to a good start with our Nordic look. Let's head over to Skyrim now. We're going to go ahead and skip Solstheim for now, though we might end up at Solstheim later if I get bored in Skyrim. Let's see what to do here. He doesn't have... But he has Vivek, and from Vivek we can take the boat to Evenheart. So yeah, Morrowind is the main computer game I play on this channel. In terms of gaming, there are also some other games I play on the channel. Soul Calibur 6 I've been doing a bit of. Mostly character creation and random CPU demo fights. I've done Zoo Tycoon, Spore, SeaWorld Tycoon. There are other games I'm preparing. In terms of computer games, I also have retro Nintendo. I play N64 and Game Boy on this channel. Well, I haven't done N64 on the channel yet, but I've prepared the emulator. So, Game Boy I've played on this channel a little bit, and Super Nintendo I'll also be adding to the channel. Basically, retro Nintendo from many years ago. The 90s was like a golden age for Nintendo, at least in my opinion.
Yes.
From Evenheart, we take... There's a guy who goes to Skyrim.
You're on your honor. Don't press your luck.
Travel to Karthwastern. And from Karthwastern, I hope we can find our way to Dragonstar. So, this is actually in the Skyrim Province Mod. There's also a Cyrodiil Province Mod. Both of them are much farther behind than Tamriel Rebuilt is, but eventually they're all going to meet up, like in 15 years or so. It's become a joke where everyone... it's become a joke that the provinces are never actually going to meet their borders, but they're doing background planning to make sure that if the provinces ever do finally meet up at the borders, that there won't be any issues or incompatibilities at the borders. So we are now in the Skyrim Province Mod, and there's our signpost. We are looking for Dragonstar. And I see they haven't optimized the Province Mod because, man, we're lagging right now. And I have the flight ring, but I kind of don't want to use it right now because I haven't really explored this area out. So it says Dragonstar is down this path. So we'll take this path till we see the next signpost. Alright, there's kind of a little fork. Is that a fork? I'm going to assume that this is the path here because the stones continue. I haven't really spent much time. Have a disaster. Can we help a merchant in need? I don't really have time right now. Dragonstar is supposed to be so big that they've divided it into 2 districts. Something that doesn't happen in the Morrowind cities. Like, a city can be big in multiple cells, but there hasn't been a city with, like, multiple parts. Looks like there's supposed to be a bridge here that fell. Alright. Good thing I'm wearing boots then. Although they're fur boots, so I'm not sure how helpful they are against cold water. So, I didn't mean to open the console. I'm not really doing anything cheaty today. I'm just doing a straight exploration. Like I said, maybe we'll go up and look at Solstheim if I get bored in Skyrim. But I think once we get to the city, I don't think there'll be any cause to get bored. Because I've never actually been in Dragonstar before. What's going on up here? Karthgad. That's not exactly where... Let's cut through town and see if there's another signpost. Actually, let's look for an armor merchant. I want to work on my look some more. Smith. Okay. I must say, I like the look of these Nordic shops. Barter. Nordic Guard. Nord Steel. Bearskin. Fur boots. Is that what I'm already wearing? Yeah. Iron. So lots of different Nordic looks to choose from. Okay. We just got a whole bunch of different armor variants. Let's take a look. So here's the guard stuff. So that's what a Nordic Guard looks like. Interesting. Alright, that's what it looks like with steel parts in the guard cuirass. I've never known how to pronounce that thing. Here's the fur helm. Here's the iron. Here's ringmail helm. Iron helm. I think I like the trollbone the best though. So I think there's the bear skin. But yeah, I only have greaves and steel and guard, so okay, I like those boots better. I think we're going to go with the guard look for now. Or maybe we can keep the... We don't have fur greaves yet, though. That's the thing. So which of the greaves look better? I think that one goes a little bit better. And the greaves match the gauntlets. And I like that troll helmet, so yeah. There's our kid for now. Though we may pick up other stuff later, so. Mix and match Nordic armor. Yay, okay. Alright, let's continue our exploration. So yeah. One of the I'm having a lot of fun tonight. I kind of like this idea of a split stream, because a split stream means I don't have to limit myself to one format on any given night. But probably I won't do in the future. I probably won't do as many formats as I'm doing tonight. This is just because I haven't been able to stream in a while, and because it's my half anniversary. What's going on over here? Is that a travel person?
Say your business.
He just goes to Karthwaston. That doesn't help. Although he goes to the docks. Is there a travel person from the docks? Maybe. Hopefully. So I hear that in the early part of next year, Tamara Rebuild is gonna release an update which includes much of the Halalu lands and a little bit of the beginnings of the edge of Redoran. So that's gonna be fun. Alright. Let's find the travel people on this dock.
Don't press your luck. You're on your honor.
Alright. She goes to Vorngad Forest. I have no idea what that is. Nor do I know where Dragonstar is. Hopefully we can get on the path and find a signpost. Alright, that just brings us back to where we were. Except it's daytime now. I guess that means no werewolves? Oh, squirrel! Let's hunt the squirrel! Squirrel! Wow. I don't usually hit so easily. And we just had a snack of the squirrel meat. Man, squirrels can be so distracting. So yeah, I'm like all over the place tonight. a goat. We won't hunt the goats. The squirrel was just a distraction. Let's focus on what we're trying to do. So it says we're actually moving towards Dragonstar. But I have not explored this mod. And Cyrodiil, man, they got nothing in Cyrodiil so far. Just one island. It's got a nice city on it, and a nice ruin, sunken ruin that reminds me of Atlantis, but until Cyrodiil releases the first part of the actual land, I'm not going to have much fun with that, I don't think. Dragonstar is that way. World map? Yeah. Well, this is a part of the world I've never been in before, so you have to drag it all the way over here to see where we came from. You can see how much land mass has not been built yet. Because Skyrim is all of this blank space here, and Cyrodiil is all of this blank space down here between Skyrim and Morrowind, so yeah. There's a lot of work to be done. These two province mods are farther behind than Tamriel Rebuilt. I'd say it's probably a good 10 years or so until we see the land masses start to merge as they exist in lore. And yes, even though Morrowind's a 20-year-old game already, there's still active development on these ongoing mod projects. That's how popular Morrowind is. That's how good Morrowind is. I mean, I spent a lot of time and words on this channel talking about how great Morrowind is, and yet I can't even play it properly. 20 years, and since I've been playing with mods and cheats so long, I've forgotten how to play it properly. I did a stream a couple months back where I actually tried to play it properly and kept dying. Go check that out on my YouTube Morrowind playlist if you want. You can see some of the other shenanigans I've gotten into around here. And of course it's raining now. Well, at least it's not snow. But I saw some forks in the path and no signpost. So I'm going to keep going this way and hope I'm moving in the right direction. I think I'm due to explore Cyrodiil as well. At least the island of Sturk that they've put up so far. I've explored the town a little bit and the sunken ruin off the coast, but I've never actually properly explored the island beyond the town, so there's probably not much. It's a tiny island. Half of the island is the town. And we've reached the edge of the available world. Tread carefully so we don't fall off into the endless ocean. And this is the problem with incomplete province mods. You reach the end of the world, and it doesn't look realistic anymore. At least Morrowind hides that by putting the edge of the world. Tamriel Rebuilt puts the edge of the world behind the Velothi Mountains. And there's a couple gates that are like permanently closed. So you can only get to the edge of the world if you actually fly over the gates and the mountains. But even there, you can get to the end of the world. Eventually, where the mountains become nothingness in Tamriel Rebuilt, that's where the Cyrodiil and Skyrim provinces are supposed to meet up. But that's still a long way away. But eventually the three provinces will all have proper borders. And that day will come 20 years from now, 10 years from now, 20 years from now, 30 years from now. Morrowind will still be heavily played in those days. I hope. Speaking of hope, I am now hopelessly lost. There's a settlement. Maybe from there we can pick up a path. Oh, we got the utility. Let's jump off the cliff. Alright. Where are we? Myriger?
Yes.
Myriger. Communal hut. Is this where the service people are? Anyone have any armor stuff?
Speak quickly.
Asks way too many questions.
Speak quickly.
Yeah, nothing going on down here. Tiny little village, I guess. This, I must say, I do kind of like this village. It's a
Say your
cute little village. But I don't see any obvious path coming off of the village. And because of the rain, we're now lagging. Okay, I saw a thing up there. That looked like flight ring time. Let's activate the Morrowind flight simulator. Because I saw something. There's what looks like a fortification up there. Perhaps from there we can pick up a path. And actually, it's taking a long time to load. So it says we're still in the Highlands region. But this looks like a settlement. Could this be our intended destination? Dragonstar. Wow. Okay. We found Dragonstar. And I'm thinking we need to wait out the rain because it's laggy as hell out here. Let's wait an hour and see if the rain stops. Nope. Let's wait another hour. Let's keep waiting. Let's keep waiting until the rain goes away. Because the rain is lagging me badly right now. There we go. Still a bit laggy. Castle Dragonstar Throne Room. You know what?
Walk a fine
say
line,
something
don't
or
you?
move on.
Let's do shenanigans.
Don't stand about.
Let's do the Kingslayer murder run.
You chose the wrong password.
You're growing weak.
Alright. Time to call out my bodyguards. The full army. We're going to do Dragonstar Massacre. I don't often do murder runs. Wow! The army at full force is pretty effective. Did you see how quickly they wiped out the king and all his bodyguards? I wonder if they've got any cool stuff. Elite Guard. And now we're going to become an imposter. Someone else. How did the bodyguards not see this person? Oh well. Half the army should be overkill for this person. Yeah. I don't often do murder runs on the stream. That's one version of shenanigans that I don't do a lot of anymore. I used to do them all the time back when I was just playing for myself. Cooking knife. Joke weapon. Let's do that. Alright. Okay, now that's a look. That is a look. And now the king. Ah. There we go. Now that's a regal look. And actually, now that we've murdered the king of Dragonstar and taken over the throne room, there we go. Somebody screen cap that. That's an image. Alright. Anyways, now that we've taken over the throne room, I think... You know what? I'll save a proper explorer for of Dragonstar. We're going to explore the castle later, I think. But you know what? I'm going to save a proper explorer of Dragonstar for when I actually do an actual Morrowind stream. But hey, is this a little... I do want to look at this basement, though. So yeah, our Dragonstar exploration will be for a Morrowind stream. I'll probably do a stream where I explore Cyrodiil, Solstheim, and Skyrim. Yeah. Let's just go down and look at the basement a little bit. Ooh. Not sure if there would be any loot down here. It looks like it's mostly food down here. But hey. So yeah, we've done 4 of my formats. And I actually want to do one more. But before we do that, I want to go back and do that screen cap again. And actually, the troll helmet, I think. Because that's symbolic of we just did a troll character. There we go. That's a meme right there. Alright, now we can end Morrowind for tonight. Alright, I just noticed I never changed my tag over. Well, we're ending Morrowind, so we'll just skip to the next tag. We're going to go over... Now I'm going to show off some random Pokemon cards from my collection. Every card you're going to see is a scan of the actual copy that's in my collection books. Because actually showing you the cards in the collection books is going to be a little clunky and not really doable with this setup. So I'll show you random scans. I have this scan set up on a random slideshow. So we talk about the card arts. We sometimes, if there's this, sometimes I talk about my collecting experiences. I don't really talk about what the cards do in the game because I haven't played in a few years and I don't really know what they do in the game. So we're going to start with Clang from Steam Siege. In the art, you can't really tell where the Pokemon ends and the background begins because they have it set up so that Clang is part of the machine. But Clang is these two gears right here. But the way they have it set against the machine, you can't really tell. It just blends in. I think that's a cool art. It shows Clang in its natural environment. Mega Pidgeot EX from Evolutions. The Mega cards were interesting. As cool as the Mega EX half arts looked, I thought the Mega cards were a bit too busy because they always had dynamic effects and the attack name in Japanese, and the cards are just too busy. The full arts alleviate that issue somewhat. The full arts actually look pretty cool, but when it comes to EXs, regular EXs are a lot less cluttered, and even those are busy. Mega EXs are a bit cluttered for my taste, but they still look pretty cool. But from the half arts of Mega EXs, you can't really make out the shape of the Pokemon because that's how busy they are. As far as evolutions, that was a nice set. Focusing on... It reprinted a lot of the cards from base set, and there was a heavy focus. In fact, it only included Generation 1 Pokemon. But they added some Ultra Rares. Ultra Rares didn't exist back in base set days. Mysterious Treasure from Forbidden Light. Just a trainer card. Not really much to say. It's a piece of jewelry against the background. Looks pretty cool. There was a secret rare version. That's really all there is to say about this. Eevee! Best Pokemon ever. And this is one of two common Eevees that was in Dark Explorers. And Dark Explorers, of the Black-White sets, Dark Explorers got a short print run. So it's a lot harder to find than the other black and white sets. But Eevee's a common card, so you can still get it pretty cheaply. Don't get me started on how cool Eevee is. Eevee's amazing. Eevee is my favorite Pokemon. And I'm glad that Eevee came up this early in a sampler stream, because I'm not going to be looking at these cards as long as I usually do. We've already been going almost 3 hours. I think at the 3-hour mark, I'm going to start winding down. I'm not showing the Soul Calibur, Nintendo, or build formats tonight, so Pokemon cards will be it. We'll go until I'm too tired to continue, and that will be that. But I think I'm going to use 3 hours as a rough marker of how far to go. Metapod from Flashfire. Metapod's a cocoon Pokemon. Basically the mid-stage between Caterpie and Butterfree. It can't really do anything. It just stuck to a tree until it evolves. That's a pretty cool art, though. It's just chilling in its native environment. There's really not much to say about it, but the forest is drawn beautifully in this picture. Claw Fossil. Sandstorm, I think, from early Generation 3. When, like, Nintendo first took over from Wizards. Wizards lost the license. Nintendo started doing it in-house as they reorganized into the Pokemon Company International. This is just a fossil trainer card. This is kind of a boring art. There's really not much to say about this one. Dialga, full art. This was from a collection box. There were 2 versions of the collection box. Each had 5 legendaries as non-textured full arts. And this was the Dialga card from those boxes. Pretty cool art. You can't really tell what's going on in the background, but it looks like he's in a dynamic action pose. I like the action poses, because most of the Pokemon cards are in like daily life chill poses, and the game is about Pokemon battling. So I like when the card arts have battle poses, but this doesn't look like a battle pose. It just looks like a dynamic action pose, which is still pretty cool because it shows the Pokemon actually doing something. Tyranitar, and by the set logo, that tells me that this is the pre-release promo version of Tyranitar, or the Tyranitar from the Fates Collide set. This one definitely is in some kind of battle. You can see the rocks breaking up around him. Action pose, pretty cool card. I like this card. Yeah, not much to say other than that. Pretty cool card. And I do collect the pre-release promos. Well, from XY on, because prior to 6th generation, the pre-release promos were just same art reprints of cards in the set, but with the logo added. And starting in Flashfire, the 2nd set of XY, they're actually alternate arts. So they're not alternate arts officially. They're not given the alt art numbering. They're given Black Star numbering. But it's a different art than the one in the set, but with the set logo. I like that treatment for pre-release promos. Girder. Noble Victories. He's the middle phase in the construction worker line of Timber, Girder, Coggleder. They didn't really do much with that line. They printed him like 3 times during Black and White when they debuted. But since then, they've appeared like once or twice. Not really popular Pokemon, but these are the construction worker Pokemon. He's working at a construction site. There's really not much to say about this art. Zinnia from Dragon Majesty. You can tell from the pattern over the text area that this is a reverse foil. And Zinnia's pretty cool. I guess she's some kind of dragon trainer. I like this art. Action girl standing in a chill pose against a mysterious ruin. I like this art. This is a good composition for a trainer art. Heliolisk, Guardians Rising. And this one's against what looks like a background of space or speed of some sort. This Heliolisk is definitely in an action pose, which makes this probably my favorite of the Heliolisk cards, because I generally find Heliolisk to be kind of boring, but this card is cool. This is a really cool action shot. I like this card. You can see the dynamic motion swirls around him. Very good art. Still haven't really seen a card with a collection story behind it, but hopefully we'll get some of those tonight. Grimmsnarl. Rebel Clash, I think that icon is. So with Sword and Shield, I stopped doing the common, uncommon, regular rare sets that I had been doing up to this point for Sun and Moon, because the basically the money dried up, so I haven't been doing the common sets. But I did allow myself to get one version of every new Pokemon, just so I could start my Generation 8 book and have at least a functional Pokedex. But even then, my Pokedex is incomplete, because so far I do not have any Kubfu or Shavu, Zarude, Calyrex, Galarian Slowbro, the Galarian Birds, and Regidrago, Regieleki, and there was one more I don't have yet. I think. So yeah, my Pokedex is currently incomplete, but I hope to fill it in pretty soon. But here's Grimmsnarl. And Grimmsnarl, as far as I can tell, is the closest we've had to some kind of traditional monster demon Pokemon. Not really much to say. Grimmsnarl looks cool, but I don't have the same attachment to the Sword and Shield Pokemon that I have to Pokemon from the previous generations, just because, you know, my collection had to drop off a bit. And so I haven't been able to give the new characters in Sword and Shield the same amount of focus. But eventually I'll be collecting again. I'll be able to collect again. And I'll probably have a new appreciation for the Generation 8 characters when I can get more cards of them. Grimmsnarl still looks pretty cool. Lugia EX, Ancient Origins. I like this art. Like most half-art EXs, it's just the Pokemon in an action pose against a dynamic background. But the composition and the colors, I mean, this is just like a bright, shiny card. And I like cards with like the whites and the light grays and the metallic colors, because with the foil, the light reflects off of them a certain way that it doesn't reflect off of other colors, and it makes the lighter colored foil cards stand out just a little bit more, the more metallic colored cards. I mean, I've always been a fan of Lugia anyway, so this card is fun to me. I like this card. And I remember this was back when this card came out. Well, it came out before I started playing, but it was in Standard when my nephews and I went to League, and my nephew ran the full art version of this card in his deck. He did a deck where he basically traded at League, so he would only have full arts, and then he blinged out his deck with like the best version of every card. It was kind of insane how well he was able to trade. And his pack luck was amazing. He would open like 12 packs and get like 8 hits, whereas I would open 12 packs and maybe get 1 hit half of the time. Yeah, I don't know how he did it. He kept pulling full arts. I mean, I don't know how he did it. Persian. This is another pre-release promo. Now, this is Unbroken Bonds, so this was after I stopped going to pre-releases, because Celestial Storm was right after my nephews quit. Their collections ended with Forbidden Light. Celestial Storm, I went to the pre-release, and for the first time ever, I opened a pre-release kit with 4 green codes. Not even a Prism card. And then my 2 participation packs, 2 more green cards. All 6 of the reverse foils were commons, so there wasn't even a good foil. And my pre-release promo holo, I mean, I collect the promos, so I was happy with any of them. But my pre-release promo for Celestial Storm was the worst one of the 4 in terms of playability. But that one was Delcatty. I think it was Delcatty in that set. Was it Delcatty or was it the other cat? I can't remember. I think it was Delcatty. And I only bring that up because that was a cat this pre-release promo is a cat, but when it came time for the last year of Sun Moon, when I was no longer going to League, I basically bought, when I was doing the common uncommon sets, I still continued my tradition of doing all the pre-release promos. In fact, I have all the pre-release promos up to Darkness Ablaze, but I haven't been able to collect since Vivid Voltage, so I'll have to take care of that as soon as I can, I guess. Herdier, Sun Moon Base, a dog standing in a forest. It's a reverse, but it's there's really not much to say other than a dog standing in the forest. He looks proud, though. Good doggy. Good doggy. I like this card. Delcatty, Celestial Storm. We were just talking about the pre-release version of this card, but this is just the regular one from the set. I think I pulled this one from one of my packs. So yeah. Delcatty was trolling me that day. Whatever. This is a nice art. She's chilling on a table next to flowers. This is a pretty art, but it doesn't fit in a battle game. But beautiful anyway. Volcanion, Steam Siege. My nephew had the reverse foil version of this card, I think. I don't really have much to say. He's a volcanic Pokemon standing against a background of rock and fire, where you would pretty much expect him to be. I like this art. Shows the Pokemon in its native environment. And the way the camera is right up against him, putting him full in the frame, that's nice. I like this. Electric. This is the Ancient Trait version from Primal Clash. The Ancient Traits were interesting. How they did kind of a... It wasn't a... They kind of did an extended art, but not quite a full art. The Ancient Trait was an interesting treatment. It only lasted 3 sets, but all the Ancient Trait cards look cool. And here's a little electric fish just chilling in the water, doing its thing. There's really not much to say about the art, other than the extended art makes the art look cooler than it really is. Weavile, Flashfire. Dark, mischievous cat troll thing lurking in the forest. I'm not going to say chilling, because he definitely looks like he's up to something. But he's not really in action right now. Looks like he's scratching the air with his claws. You can see dynamic action marks above his claws, but he's not, doesn't look like he's really doing anything to anything, just playing in the forest in a mischievous manner. Pretty cool card, but there's really not much to say about it. Alright, Metal Energy. This would be, let's see, that background. This would be the Sun Moon version of Basic Metal. And since XY, I've been doing 1 copy of each Basic Energy in its reverse form. I'm about to receive actually my Sword and Shield energies, because I didn't get a chance to get them yet. This is Metal Energy. Sun Moon Metal Energy. I miss Fairy Energy, but they brought dragons back. One can hold out hope that they'll eventually bring Fairy back. One could only hope. Speaking of fairies, they have this pretty pink background color that none of the other energies have. I'm going to miss seeing that color. Cottony. Fates Collide. 3 Cottony floating in a field with flowers on a bright sunny day. Very colorful card. Interesting composition. A little boring in subject matter, but beautiful colors. I kind of like this art. I want to see the cool cards, but we keep getting regular cards. Okay, Mandibuzz. It's a vulture flying in a rocky canyon. This is the black-white base version of the card. Mandibuzz was never a very popular Pokemon, but it's like a dark, mischievous bird, a vulture. Like I said, flying in a canyon. It's in its native environment. It's like many birds. It's in a kind of a majestic looking pose, but not quite like the other birds. You can tell it's up to something. Pikachu! This is the Crimson Invasion version. This card is a reverse. You can tell by the foiling on the background and the energy patterns on the background. Pikachu is the mascot of Pokemon, as you all know. And as such, Pikachu has appeared in more sets and more promos than any other Pokemon ever. I've got something crazy like 50 or more Pikachus, and I don't even have them all. I'm missing a lot of Pikachus. And like, it's not even close. Like the Pokemon who was printed the second most has like maybe 30 or 40 cards. Pikachu's got like over 100. But this Pikachu is in a little tropical island beach village, it looks like. Beautiful colors, interesting composition. Not my favorite Pikachu. He kind of looks a bit derpy, but still pretty cute. This is on the cute side of Pikachus, I think. Very colorful. And the tropical village gives it kind of almost a summer beach resort feel. Licky Licky. Ultra Prism, reversed. A Licky Licky takes up like most of the frame with an out of focus generic nature background with a field, a river, and mountains and trees in the background. There's really not much to say about this art. Licky Licky looks fat. Palpitoad, Dark Explorers. He's playing in a forest. There's a mountain in the background. I like how he fills the frame. It's an action pose in that he's playing. He's not just standing still, but it's not a battle pose. So there's really not much to say. It's just a Palpitoad having a good day. We've hit the 3-hour mark, but we haven't seen too many in the terms of special cards. So I'm going to let this go a little bit longer, and then we'll find someone to raid. Lucario Spirit Link. Okay. Spirit Links were interesting. And I actually, in my collection books, I've set the Spirit Links aside from the other trainers and given them their own dedicated pages. Because the Spirit Links, what they were, is you could attach them to an EX Pokemon that had a Mega form, and then it wouldn't end your turn if you evolved it into the Mega form. But the arts always featured the Mega version of the Pokemon and these 2 energy rings. And the cool thing about the Spirit Links is they actually did the Mega arts better than the Mega EX cards did. I mean, the half arts, not the full arts did pretty well. Because the Spirit Links were not over-cluttered like the half-art EXs were. So they could actually put in like full-body pictures of the Mega Pokemon, so you could see what they actually looked like. So I like the Spirit Links, and I gave them their own special pages in the book. And I think there's like 35 different Spirit Links that they've put out. And this one was a promo. The Mega Lucario EX was only available as a promo, but it came with its Spirit Link card. So yeah, Lucario's a Pokemon that I like a lot. So yeah, I like the Spirit Links. I think they're pretty cool. To me, the Spirit Links count as like special cards, even though they're not really, but... Luxray, Ultra Prism. You can tell this one's a holo because you can see wavy scan lines across the background of the art. I like this art. Luxray is howling at a mountain. The mountain has a portal opening over it. This kind of goes along with the theme of the Ultra Beasts coming from another dimension. And the Luxray is kind of reacting to their invasion, I guess. That's from what I can tell from this art. I like this art. Pretty cool. It's an action pose without the Luxray being explicitly in battle. I like poses that show the Pokemon doing something, but not necessarily an active battle when they get too busy. But I like this art. I like this composition. Mellowetta. Is that boundaries crossed? That might be boundaries crossed. Anyways, so this is a hollow. You can tell by the the black and white hollow pattern was pretty cool with horizontal lines. Sword and Shield does vertical lines. But I like the black and white hollow pattern. I don't have too many cards with that. But this is Mellowetta. Mellowetta has two forms, a singing form, which this one is, and also a dancing form. In the dancing Mellowetta, she wears a brown hat. But this is the singing form. The singing form is psychic type. The dancing form is fighting type. But I like this art. Mellowetta is singing in what looks like a pretty field with flowers on a beautiful night with a full moon. I like this composition. It's a very beautiful card. And Mellowetta in general is a pretty Pokemon, so I like this card. Celio, Primal Clash. We still haven't gotten to any of the special stuff. I mean, we saw Lugia and Pidgeot earlier, but we haven't gotten into much of the really cool special stuff yet, so we'll keep it going a little longer. Celio is from Primal Clash. Just a blue seal chilling on a beach. You can see another Celio in the background, and even back then, and even farther back, you can see more Celio. And one Pokemon right there, which I can't tell if it's supposed to be, it's out of focus and too far away, so I can't tell if that's supposed to be another Celio or actually a Squirtle, because in that pose it's got a similar shape to Squirtle. I would assume it's another Celio, just because all the rest of these appear to be Celio, but it could be a Squirtle, I guess. No way to know for sure. Pokemon Ranger, a full art supporter. This one from Steam Siege. One of two full art supporters in Steam Siege. Pokemon Ranger was kind of a useless card, but this full art was pretty cool. I've always liked full arts of generic unnamed trainers, because with the generic unnamed trainers, they often put one male and one female on the card together, and one boy and one girl doing their jobs together. It's kind of interesting, this trend that they have with full arts with generic unnamed trainers. I like it. I like the way they do that. And the Pokemon Ranger has a cool uniform. I like that hat. I don't wear hats, but if I did wear hats, I would want that hat. And that uniform looks pretty cool too. Dialga EX. Okay, we seem to be getting a lot of EXs tonight. We haven't seen any GXs yet. We won't see a lot of Vs. I have like 5 V cards total. Yeah, out of like 5,000 cards. We're not likely to get any of my V cards. But Dialga EX. This is Phantom Forces. And if I remember correctly, this one did not have a full art version. But you can see from this one what I was saying about Mega EXs, how they were always overcomposed and too cluttered. Even some of the non-Mega EXs had that issues. Like this Dialga is in what looks like a dynamic cosmic setting, but it's got way too much going on in terms of lighting effects and the stars and motion blur lines. This is a cluttered card, and you can make out his head pretty clearly, but other than that, you can't really tell what the Pokemon is supposed to look like. It's still very colorful, very shiny, fun to look at, but I've seen better Dialga cards. Genesect Dx. Now, this is a full art EX, and you can tell the full arts, because they use the whole card, they don't look as cluttered. Sure, you got the battle text over the art, and that makes it sometimes hard to read. The white border around the black text that they did helps a little bit to read the card. But I like full arts because they don't look as cluttered as the half arts, especially on EXs. And EXs always had cool patterned backgrounds in the full arts. GXs were simple solid color backgrounds. I like that even more because that made it even easier to read the cards. But yeah, this is a pretty card. Probably the prettiest of all my Genesect cards. Maybe the second prettiest. There's a promo Genesect I really like. But yeah, purple metal alien-ish Pokemon against the blue background. I like the colors on this card. Pretty cool card. Gyarados, Ancient Trait. This one's from Ancient Origins. Oh, I forgot to mention what set Genesect was from. I don't remember. Too late now. Gyarados is, if I remember correctly, there was also a promo which was the same card but with different art. But this is the Ancient Origins set version of Gyarados as an Ancient Trait. I like this extended art. It looks like it's a fisherman who caught it by accident, and of course Gyarados comes in full rage, and the fisherman can't handle him and is scared. I like this because it actually shows a person reacting to the Pokemon doing what it does best. And what Gyarados does best is rage and anger. I really like this card. But if I was that person, I'd be running fast in the opposite direction. The Blade. Team up. The Blade is basically two living swords. And they seem to be having a chill, relaxed day in what looks like a forest of some kind. There's really not much to say about this art. Let's move on. Vespiquen, another Ancient Trait card, also from Ancient Origins. And this one is definitely doing something. This is a dynamic action pose. You can tell by the attack motion lines. Chilling in a forest. Well, that's where bees usually chill, is in the forest. I'm not gonna say this is a pretty card. This is actually closer to creepy on the spectrum of pretty to creepy. It's a good composition. Some Pokemon are not meant to look pretty, and Vespiquen is one of those. So I don't mind that this card isn't pretty. The background's pretty though, and the motion lines are pretty. So it actually tries to prettify a Pokemon, to beautify a Pokemon that isn't generally considered to be pretty. Kind of interesting what the artist did here. It's everything around the Pokemon is pretty, except the Pokemon itself, which is kind of creepy. Interesting effect on this card. Hitmontop. We see our first Wizards card of the night. This one's from Neo Discovery, I think that is. It's a holo. I do not have a lot of Wizards Era holos, but I do have a few. None of the big ones, of course. I don't have any of the really big, expensive ones they keep hearing everyone meme about. But this is Hitmontop, the third of the Hitmon family. I always thought Hitmontop was a little cute. A little bit of a weird design for Pokemon, but kind of cute. Definitely cuter than the original Hitmons, Chan and Lee. I like this card. And holo on Wizards cards looks really shiny, really cool. Wizards holo cards are a big deal. Kyurem, Black-White promo. It's just an ice dragon in an ice that looks like it's a cave, or if it's not a cave, it's a nighttime setting. But it's an ice terrain with an ice dragon. He kind of blends in. But it looks like he's getting ready to start something. I like this art. Kyurem's a pretty interesting Pokemon because it confused with either Reshiram or Zekrom. But that's a story for another day and another card. Camerupt. X Dragon, maybe? I haven't memorized all the Gen 3 logos. There's 16 sets in Gen 3, and I haven't really collected a lot from this era yet. I have a few. Dragon Frontiers, I have about half the set, because Dragon Frontiers I collected special. But this is X Dragon. It's when they were. It's after they quit doing e-reader cards, but in the first 2 or 3 sets of Gen 3, they still did e-reader strips on the bottom of the cards that just had Pokedex data. So this would have been one of the early Gen 3 sets. It's a volcanic camel. It looks like walking through a mountain valley. Actively spewing the lava from its back. Interesting composition. I like the composition. Kind of a boring card overall, though. Silver Bangle, a Plasma Blast Trainer. Basically a piece of jewelry against a nondescript Fury background. I like the fiery effect of the background. Tool Scrapper, another nondescript tool item against a random energy lightning background. This one's Dragon's Exalted. It's an interesting composition. Interesting energy around the item. I like the lightning effect. Volbeat, XY base. A bug flying over a meadow. Colorful card. Not really much to say about it. Voltorb. This is a reverse. You can tell by the energy pattern. And I skipped it by accident. Alright, there. Voltorb. Roaring Skies. It looks like a Voltorb is just... He's looking around outside of what appears to be a facility of some kind. Maybe that's a power plant. It doesn't really look like a power plant, though. There's a waterfall next to the building. Interesting Voltorb card. Voltorb in design is a little boring, though. There are some Voltorb cards that look really cool. But this is just Voltorb in a chill everyday setting. Reverse. You can tell by it's a foil. Alright, Cricketune. This one is also a foil. This one's Cosmic Eclipse. A bug that plays music doing its everyday life in the forest. Sunbeams. It looks like the forest itself is dark, but with sunbeams hitting the bottom. There's some mushrooms in the background. Colorful forest. Pokemon appears to be dancing. Cricketune is one of those music-themed Pokemon. There's very few of them, but it looks okay. Cricketune is one of the easily forgotten Pokemon. I don't think it's ever gotten in Ultra. Seedot. Celestial Storm. Sitting on top of a tree. 2 other Seedots sitting on their trees in the background. Pretty colorful. Sunny day in the forest. Not much to say. Druddigon. This is a holo from Dragon Vault. They did a set of all holos. 21. It says 20, but there was a secret rare Kyurem. But they did 21 dragons. A mini set with 21 dragons, all of them holo. This was when they first introduced the dragon type at the end of Black White. And Druddigon. Druddigon's interesting because Druddigon has appeared at most rarity levels. There are very few Pokemon that have appeared at common, uncommon, rare, and holo. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think Druddigon has ever been an Ultra, but there have been only a few other Pokemon that have been common, uncommon, rare, and Ultra. One of those was Lapras. And there's a few others that have been common, uncommon, rare, holo, and Ultra. Druddigon I don't think ever made it to Ultra, but it's one of very few Pokemon that was seen at all rarity levels. Druddigon is an interesting dragon design. He's not my favorite dragon. On the spectrum of coolness, he looks pretty cool. Kind of ugly. Of course, some dragons are supposed to be ugly. The blue and red, the combination of blue and red is kind of interesting and a bit jarring. Salamence does the blue-red combination a lot better, I think, in terms of Pokemon dragons. Salamence does blue and red well. Groudon, I think, does not. But that's all personal opinions. You can't tell what's going on in the background because of the foil, the hollow lines. Shelgon. Interesting. This is another card from that same hollow dragon set. So Shelgon is... We were just talking about Salamence. The basic in that line is Bagon, who's basically a little baby dragon thing. And then when it decides to grow up, it turns into Shelgon, which is basically a cocoon chrysalis form that will allow it to evolve into Salamence, the full dragon. But Shelgon's pretty interesting. Kind of boring because it can't do much. Shelgon is a bit like Metapod and Kakuna in that regard. But this is a cool looking card. It's not often you see a not fully evolved Pokemon non-legendary as a holo. So Shelgon's pretty cool. Sabrina's Suggestion. This is a team up. It's a reverse. It's an art of the gym trainer character Sabrina. You can see how she's psychically manipulating that Pokeball. Sabrina's always been an interesting character. I don't really follow since I don't play the video games or watch the anime. I don't know too much about the characters that I see in these arts, but I do know that Sabrina, I have heard described as kind of a creepy character, but again, I don't really know her story. Still, she looks pretty cool. And I like the, it looks like she's in her gym, and I like the colored environment of the gym against her dark and muted outfit and look. Kind of interesting. And those red eyes, she's got red eyes. For a person, that usually says creepy, evil. Yeah, Sabrina's probably a character I wouldn't want to meet. But she still looks pretty cool. Another Celio, this time from Flashfire. And this Celio is not with a group of friends. This one's sitting alone on the beach, watching the waves come in. He's happy. There's not much happening. It's a beach, the waves, sunny day. Alright. I think I want to... Yeah. My descriptions are becoming like 3-4 words. Clearly I'm getting tired and I need to end stream. So, let's get to a really cool card to end on. And when we get to the next really cool card, we'll find someone to raid. Rotom is not the really cool card to end on. Rotom is an interesting character because it can actually take over appliances. There's like Fan Rotom, Wash Rotom, Heat Rotom, Mow Rotom. There's like 5 of them. I don't remember all of them. This is the Plasma Storm version of Rotom. And from the blue border, you can tell that's Team Plasma. With Team Plasma cards and Plasma Storm, Plasma Freeze, and Plasma Blast, you could tell which Pokemon were Team Plasma because they always had blue borders. I think that was pretty cool how they did that because they haven't done anything like that since, as far as I know, in terms of changing the border color to denote certain game rules. Pretty interesting. This is the Rotom and Team Plasma, so that's the bad guys. So this is a villainous Rotom chilling in what looks to be some kind of facility or villain hideout base thing. I would not want to be in this place, especially at night. Certainly not alone. Interesting card. Hoot Hoot. Burning Shadows. Baby owl fills the frame. Kind of cute. In the back, you can tell he's high in the sky because the ground is very muted colors. Like, it's so faded you can barely tell the ground is there, but it's there. That's that big greenish blob below him. And then a layer of clouds. There's really not much going on. It's an interesting composition, but there's really not much to say with this art. Mega Audino EX. Well, I said I wanted to end on a special card, but Audino is... I don't want to end on an Audino, so we'll keep going a little longer. This is Fates Collide. Audino and Mega Audino did not get full arts, but here it is. Audino, I think, was one of the music-themed Pokemon. There's not a lot of them. I don't even remember. I can't even tell from this art what Audino is supposed to be, and I don't remember Audino too much right now because this art is cluttered. There's some Pokemon you forget about till you see their card, and then you remember them. Audino's one of those for me. Kind of cute, but over-cluttered. I like the colorful bubbles. It's colorless, so there's a lot of white and light colors going on. When you look at the actual card, the foiling's pretty cool when it has colors like this. Blaziken GX full art. Still not really wanting to end on someone like Blaziken. But yeah, with the GX full arts, it was solid color backgrounds, which I liked because they were less cluttered than the EXs. I thought their solid colored backgrounds were pretty cool. But when the backgrounds were always the energy color, but when the backgrounds when the background color matched the Pokemon's color, sometimes I didn't feel like there was enough contrast in the art. Blaziken is one of those examples where you can kind of see how the reds like match, and his lower half kind of gets lost against the background. Blaziken is still a pretty cool Pokemon. I think I have one other Blaziken. I have several other Blaziken cards, but there's another Blaziken that I like more than this one. Couldn't tell you specifically which one it is right now, but I know I have one I like better than this one. But still, the GX full arts look pretty cool. Houndoom. Undaunted, maybe? This is from the Heart Gold block. What was interesting about Heart Gold Soul Silver block is instead of having the plain yellow borders that every other generation has had, it had kind of a faded yellow look, faded yellow-white, you can kind of see, which kind of made the cards look old, vintagey. Well, not really vintage because they didn't look like Wizards cards, but it made the cards look like they were printed in old paper. I like the faded yellow border for Heart Gold Soul Silver. So it lasted for, I don't remember if Call of Legends did it. So it lasted for about a year because Heart Gold was 4 sets. Some people consider Call of Legends part of Heart Gold Soul Silver. Some 4 or 5 sets that they did this for. I don't remember if Call of Legends did it. I like that. As for the art, Houndoom. It looks like he's at the edge of a cave. Looks like there's a torch in the distance. I like how he fills the frame. He's definitely reacting to something that's just off frame. Like, I'm not sure if he's getting ready to fight, but he's definitely angry about something. I would consider this a dynamic pose. And you can tell the background's not straight, it's at a slant, so that tells you that something's going on. That tells you that there's action in the picture. When the background is at a tilt instead of straight, that strongly implies motion. Oddish. This is one of the yarn arts. In Sun Moon block, every set had 1 or 2 yarn arts, which was basically one of the Pokemon artists, and I can't really read. The print is tiny. They always print the artist name so tiny. But one of the artists would make Pokemon models out of yarn and then put together kind of a collage background. And this Oddish is one of those yarn arts. Unbroken Bonds. They did pretty well. They do pretty well. There's a few of them that look really good. Walrein, Primal Clash. This is a reverse. It's a giant seal swimming in the water. Pretty generic background in terms of how things go. But again, the background's at a tilt, so you can tell action is going on. In this case, I don't think it's really doing anything. I think it's just swimming. But it looks like the waves are high around it, so... Of course, Walrein is a Stage 2 Pokemon, so it's got power. It could make waves as it swims. I don't know. I just don't know a lot about this particular Pokemon. The card looks pretty cool. Bulbasaur, Shining Legends. This is a reverse. All my Shining Legends non-Ultras are reverses. Shining Legends is one of what we call the holiday sets. And for the holiday sets that they do once a year, I try and do my common set as reverses. So that'd be... I didn't do that in Generations. I started that tradition. Generations was the first of the holiday sets. I started that tradition with Shining Legends. So Dragon Majesty, Hidden Fates, Champion's Path. I did do Champion's Path, even though I didn't do Sword and Shield in general yet. Shining Fates I didn't do yet, but that's going to be reverse as well. But Bulbasaur is just relaxing by the edge of the river, doing the cliche where it looks into the water to look at its reflection. The whole reflection thing kind of gives me Mulan vibes from Disney. It's contemplating its life. It's having a chill, happy day. Colorful card. And what makes this card particularly special, at least in my opinion, is that prior to this card, Bulbasaur had not been printed since Black and White. For some reason, during XY block, which was 3 years, every starter Pokemon had been printed up at some point in XY. Every starter Pokemon from every generation had received at least one printing, except the Bulbasaur line and the Squirtle line. Bulbasaur got this card in Shining Legends, and Squirtle did not appear until a year and a half later in Team Up. So that was like a, if my math is correct, that was like a 4.5, 5 year gap of no Squirtle, which is highly unusual for a Generation 1 starter to go that long without a card. Because they do the starters a lot, or the Gen 1 starters, especially... Yeah, Charmander gets so much more attention than Bulbasaur and Squirtle just because Charmander eventually becomes Charizard. And Charizard's like the poster boy for Pokemon right now. Charizard and Pikachu. It's like every set has a $100 Charizard now. It's ridiculous. Alright, I'm getting off topic. Let's move on. Swellow, Guardians Rising. It's a majestic bird. It's a majestic bird having a chill, happy day in what appears to be a forest of some kind. You can just make out a little bit of the sky in the background. There's colorful leaves on the trees. This is a colorful, beautiful card, but there's not much to say about it. Magmar, Furious Fists. This is a reverse. Definitely an action pose. The Magmar is running somewhere, fighting... Magmar is definitely doing something. It's a dynamic action pose. I just can't tell if Magmar is running or fighting. And I like the contrast of the red and yellow Pokemon against the bright blue sky. That's a very nice color contrast. I approve of that color choice. Crabominable, Burning Shadows. Crabominable, I have never found to be terribly exciting. I think he had a pre-release promo once, though. A fighting crab type thing. I've never really... Crabominable is supposed to be some kind of crab. I know that from its name. But I never really got crab vibes from it. Just it's a thing. And this one is in a snowy terrain, and with the white body against the white snow, it's kind of washed out and hard to make out detail. But that's a really nice mountain in the background. That's a nice icy looking mountain that that's in this art. I think the mountain is my favorite part of this art. Hoopa EX. And this is Hoopa in its cute Chiba form. Hoopa also has a big macho monster form. Cute little colorful thing that plays with cosmic rings. I know Hoopa had something special going on, like some dimension magic or something. It's been a while since I thought about Hoopa, so I don't remember all the details. But I like this card. Colorful card. It's a half RDX, but it's more cartoony than most of the half RDXs. He's in an action pose, like he's coming at you. And the stars really make this card for me. I like the stars. The stars, really, even though the stars clutter up the card a bit, I think on this card it works. And it's a promo card. Forgot to mention what set it's from. It's a promo. Gardevoir. This is a Legendary Treasures Radiant Collection. 2 sets have done Radiant Collection foils, foil mini sets. That would be Legendary Treasures, which this is part of in Generations. I've always liked the alternate hollow patterns that they've done on Radiant Collection cards. And Gardevoir itself is a very beautiful Pokemon, so I like Gardevoir. This is a beautiful card. And I know the foil pattern. I know the way the scanner does the foil, it kind of makes this card look cluttered. But actually, with the Radiant Collection cards, if you saw them in person, and the way the foiling actually looks when the light hits it, the effect works. It just, you can't really tell the way the foil scans sometimes ends up looking a little cluttered like this. But this card, the real card, the way the light hits most of the Radiant Collection foils, really cool. Swabloon, this is a reverse foil from Phantom Forces. Little leaf bug thing. He's mad about something, but he doesn't look like he's gonna... It looks like he's mad about something, but he doesn't want to start anything because he's clearly not doing much in his little field of his. Vaporeon. We're going to end on this one. It may not be an ultra rare, but this is a Wizards era holo. You can tell by the Jungle logo. And Vaporeon is an evolution. Jungle was the first time that Eevee and the original 3 evolutions were printed. Vaporeon, Jolteon, and Flareon each had both a holo version and non-holo version in the set. And Vaporeon's had better poses and better arts since Jungle, but this one is still iconic. Like a lot of the cards from the first 3 sets, base set, Jungle, and Fossil, all the Generation 1 Kanto Pokemon were introduced in the first 3 sets, and then Team Rocket started doing variations on them. But the Pokemon as they appeared in the first 3 sets, those card arts are still considered by many early generation fans to be iconic. And I'm one of those early generation fans who considered base Jungle Fossil to be iconic. So here's Vaporeon. First appearance in the first appearance of the water evolution. Vaporeon is, in my opinion, kind of a beautiful evolution. All the evolutions are beautiful in their own way. I like Vaporeon's mermaid fin highlights. It's got some unique body typing. I mean, Flareon and Jolteon basically just did for Generation 1 evolutions, Flareon and Jolteon just did the basic Eevee shape, but replacing the fur with fire and lightning, respectively. So it was basically the basic body shape, but with the lightning and fire effects. But Vaporeon actually got new body parts that made it look like it. Vaporeon looks part fish, part mermaid. And my younger nephew, Vaporeon, is his favorite evolution. And I'm a little sad because Vaporeon is one of 2 evolutions who never got a full art EX of. But Vaporeon still had a very nice looking half art EX. And then there was also GX came around. All 5 of the later generation evolutions got full GX runs, including alternate art promos, shinies, full arts, and rainbows. But the Gen 1 evolutions, the 3 Gen 1 evolutions, only got the 1 regular art GX in the promo boxes. They never got any of the full art treatments. So Vaporeon, in fact, the new Sword and Shield set Evolving Skies, which has done all the evolutions, it's the first time Vaporeon's getting a full art of any form. All the other evolutions have already had full arts, but Vaporeon finally got its first full art. But being a Kanto Gen 1 evolution, the Gen 1 evolutions still got less treatment than the later generation evolutions. But still, at least Vaporeon finally got a full art. But this is the iconic original Jungle Vaporeon. Yeah, this is a good place to stop. I've been streaming for over 3.5 hours, it looks like, so let's go ahead and end stream here. And I'll leave you on a not blank screen while I go find someone to raid. Enjoy this iconic Pokemon card back while I go over to Twitch and see who's available. Justin and Evelyn, it looks like, are still on. Missy Alcazar. Alright, Justin and Evelyn have been... Alright, it's forcing me to watch an ad. Oh, it looks like Justin and Evelyn are getting ready to raid out. Yeah, Justin and Evelyn are ending for the night. Who else is here? Missy Alcazar. Usually when I raid Missy Alcazar, she's ending her show. But according to the timestamp, she's only been on for about 20 minutes. And it looks like she just got raided by Justin and Evelyn. And they're a lot bigger than I am, so she's not even going to notice my raid. We could go to Cora, who's just started her show. And she's only got a few viewers right now. Yeah, let's do that. I've never rated Cora before. Looks like she's playing ukulele tonight. Let's do this. Alright, have a good night, everyone. In the next few days, regular shows with single to double formats will resume. I do have a special Moana themed show that I'm planning to do this weekend. Have a good night, everyone. I'll see you soon.
To take Mindy on a walk.
hosting. Hello, Uncle Evie. Thank you so much. How you doing? How was your stream? Just starting off, and I realized that my nails are too long,